Welcome back to Casey Cares, Kansas City's nonprofit voice. I am Bobby Keys, and we are talking nonprofits once again on a beautiful Saturday here in Kansas City. The heart of, I like to call it the heart of the nonprofit world because, we're releasing in the nation. We got so many nonprofits here, over 8,000, and we try and tell the stories of all of them. We are at about number 567. And now 568 with the International Coaching Federation-Heartland chapter. We've got Brian Graves. How are you, sir?
Good, Bobby. How are you?
I'm doing well. And so that we got the International Coaching Federation. Tell us what's that about?
Okay. Well, let me tell you what we're not first.
Okay.
So we're not sports coaches.
Okay. All right. There you go. I think immediately a lot of people automatically think.
Sure, we do. And so, typically we're going to fall in, and the spectrum is broad, but I'll kind of loosely categorize. We're going to fall into that life coach, leadership, career, executive, those types of things. So a lot of those people they may be consultants, trainers, and coaches out in the community. And also we have a lot of internal coaches that work for companies like Sprint or other nonprofits, so working internally. So we support those folks also.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So one of the big things we're here to kind of talk about today is we're celebrating our 25th anniversary this year. So that's exciting that, we've been around for a while, and obviously we don't plan on going anywhere.
You started here in Kansas City?
No, we did not start here in Kansas City. Kansas City is the local chapter. We're the Heartland chapter. So the neat part about our chapter is we have a huge geographic area. So we cover the entire state of Kansas from corner to corner. And then we cover Missouri, except for St. Louis. They have their own chapter over there.
Oh, so they had to go and be difficult.
Yep. So we are spread out, and we understand what it's like to work remotely with all of our different members. So we have them in Hutchinson, Kansas, Wichita, Manhattan, Springfield, Columbia. We are just all over.
That's awesome. So tell us a little. I'm super interested in this because I love leadership. I love bettering yourself as a person and gaining that confidence. And it seems like that's crucial these days because a lot of people are lacking those personal skills.
Right.
So take me in. From the beginning, how does it work?
So ICF, there's a lot of coaches out there. So with ICF, that's a particular designation that we have. So ICF is a governing body for coach practitioners. Just kind of, it's the gold standard out there. So if you think about project management, you may think about PMP. If you think about accountants, you may think of CPAs. Same type of deal for coaches. Just shows we put in the training, the hours, and we're continuing to work and to set ourselves aside and maintain those professional standards when we're working with our clients. And it also gives our clients a tool in the event that there is any kind of ethical dilemmas. It gives them a reporting tool back. So that's something we're pretty proud of too, that we put ourselves on that pedestal to say, hey, we think we're the best. Yeah.
And so you guys, how does it, I guess a lot of people just don't realize that there's a nonprofit out there that does this. And
So the nonprofit does a couple of things. So, they're in charge of our credentialing and ensuring that we're doing those right things. Like I said, they're also in charge of our ethical review board. They have a lot of functions that we do. So I'll just kind of hit on the big ones. And one of the big ones that we're proud of supporting is, while we have the International Coaching Federation, we also have the foundation that they're a part of.
Okay.
And that foundation is something that, so what they do, you're familiar with I'm drawing a blank here. Imagine that. I got so many things to say. You're familiar with the United Nations, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, the United Nations has some initiatives out there that they want to try to support. And on their number 4 initiative is one that we're supporting with, and that number 4 goal is the goal of ensuring inclusivity and quality education for all and promoting lifelong learning. So the foundation saw that as a great opportunity to be able to partner with the UN and try to make a difference in our communities, and that's something that a lot of local chapters like mine. So to kind of step backwards, there's 35,000 of us in the world.
Yeah.
Here in Kansas City, we have about 150 in our region, so Kansas and Missouri. So with all our different chapters spread out all over the world, we try to support that UN initiative through the ICF Foundation. And kind of what that looks like, it looks a lot of different ways, but kind of some of the more popular ways are, it's always going to be kind of focused on education right now because of that goal for the UN. So what we might do, a way it could look is, we may go in and partner with the school district. So we go in and partner with the school district. Let's say that hey, that school district has had a lot of turnover in senior leaders, maybe principals or assistant superintendents, directors, things like that. So we'll go in and partner with them and say, hey, let's spend 4 months and let's create some goals here, and let's see what we can do to possibly increase the teamwork amongst that group, help that transition be even better. Some of those different things like that. And a really successful program. That's just one example. There's tons of others. Some of the other opportunities that are out there that we've seen are, partnering with a university, possibly to either work with that staff and just kind of help alignment, or even provide some career coaching for folks that may be in, for instance, maybe they're in a master's program or a PhD candidate or something like that. There's those opportunities to provide some coaching for those type of people. But really, it's not limited to any of those things. And
kind of one area that you guys work on is working with nonprofits to kind of bring more professional development opportunities, right?
Right. And that's where, with the UN, that's where that part really comes in, is focusing on those nonprofits that are educationally focused. So we're always looking for those partners out there in the community to be able to do things like that.
Yeah.
So we try to pick at least one a year right now. We feel like we can support that. So our goal is to, obviously take in some applications for folks that are willing to try to support that Ignite initiative is what it's called.
Okay.
And through that Ignite initiative, supporting ultimately that UN goal. So always taking applications. We're getting ready to announce. So on May the 4th through the 10th is International Coaching Week. So that's where all the world of coaching kind of comes together, and we just promote the profession, and we do a lot of pro bono coaching in all kinds of different initiatives. So what we're going to do, one of the events that we have is we're going to announce who our Ignite partner is going to be for those next several months. So it may be a college, it may be a school district, it could be another nonprofit that's kind of focused on career coaching or those types of things.
Sure.
So,
and you said Ignite and that's the name of the program.
Yep, Ignite is the ICF Foundation's signature program for this.
And how? So and I guess how many people? You said there was 150.
We're in about 143 countries.
143 countries.
Locally, we're about 150 personnel, 150 people strong. So.
Oh wow! Yeah. And then St. Louis has its own. And then do you see more of these popping up, or are you guys planning to grow more? What is that?
We're always trying to grow more, and really, what we're trying to do is, I'll say grow more, but we're really trying to just bring a lot of credibility to the profession so that we can. So while growth is important, it's just as important that we maintain those professional standards and
quality.
So that, when someone sees, hey, there's that ICF logo, you know what? I'm confident that I'm going to get someone who's put in the work, who continues to do the work and is willing to do the right thing by me.
And so the people that go through the program, okay, and they come out the other end, and then do they? I guess what is? Do they get the certificate?
Yeah, there's 3 different levels. So we have associate coaches, we have professional coaches, and we have master coaches.
Okay.
So there's those 3 levels, and typically what you're going to do depends on, obviously, how long you've been coaching, but you come in at that lower level and advance through as you gain more clients and as you coaching hours, coach training, all those things are what's going to drive that moving up the ladder, if you will, for that certification or that credential. Sorry.
And what does that look like for somebody to go from the beginning to the?
Well, I'll share my story.
Sure.
Is that all right? That's the one I'm most familiar with.
Hey.
So I retired from the Army in 2018.
Hey, thank you for serving.
Oh, sure. And the reason I got started in coaching was I got the benefit of working with an executive coach out of Fort Leavenworth. And it really kind of changed my game. I was a senior leader, so pretty much I didn't get the feedback I think I probably needed.
Yeah.
I probably got what I wanted, but not what I needed.
Yeah.
So and that's 24 years in. And finally at 24 years in, I'm sitting there across from this gentleman, and he's telling me the things I need to hear. Yeah. And some of that was a little painful, but it opened my eyes, and I think it really changed what I expected from myself and what I expected from my people. And, from that point forward, I said, you know what, that's something I want to do for a living. I want to do that. When I retire and I get out, I want to be able to bring that coaching out to those folks like me who are probably successful, but they need more. And, to then just think about what you can do for those young people out there that are just trying to make their path. So, if it would work for an old guy like me, it's surely going to work for one of those younger high performers coming up in those organizations.
Yeah, and that's amazing because I love, that's part of my motto. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, because there's so many people, especially when you surround yourself with friends. It's like, oh, my friends tell me this. Well, don't listen to your friends all the time because they're not going to tell you what you need to hear. So you need that tough stuff. I tell my daughters this too. Like, you need the people that's going to be real with you and tell you, not all the good things, all the bad, all the bad things, all the good things. And so, if as you guys grow and you expand into to more and more, or I guess get more quality, leaders through, what does that look like when moving into the corporations? Do coming out and getting my master, my certificate, my master certificate from you guys, and does that?
Well, again, I'll kind of go back to my story. And again, we're not just focused on leadership. We have a lot of those folks who are focused on career coaching. Some who are focused on life coaching. So it's a large gamut when you get out there. But the standards are still going to be the same. So that's the key here. So, but for me, what I did was I went to Avila University right here local. Yeah. At that time, and probably still, Avila, I think Pitt State may have a program now, but Avila offered the only ICF certified training program. So it was great to be able to go to, a local university right here and get what I needed. Yeah. And then from there, I kind of had that basis for my training, had those hours that I needed. And then from there, what you have to do is build that coaching portfolio, just like you would in any other kind of profession. So you just have to get out there and just coach and coach and coach. Well, I was fortunate that obviously being in the military, that a huge part of what you do is that. So was able to utilize my military experience and be able to move forward.
I was going to ask, did that being in the military and having that, did that give you more confidence being out and coaching, and or how does that work?
You know what it did? I think it changed my perspective. That coaching really took me from kind of more, I'll say, directing and telling to more of really partnering with that person and sitting down and seeing what was possible. Yeah. And that, it's just a different mindset. You kind of get used to, hey, here's the problem. Here's how it needs to be solved. Go. And, as you sit down and become, utilize those coaching skills and things like that, you begin to understand, hey, if you want to build that sustainability and encourage people to be able to solve their problems in the future, you've really got to work with them to understand that, hey, you can solve the problem. You just got to give them sometimes the freedom to be able to. You got to
empower people. Yeah, exactly. You got to empower them. Like, excellent word. So because I love this, because now I'm starting to get geeky about it, and we're kind of and getting towards the end, but I love that it's about empowering people, and you do help that people do grow from that, right. and what you said, telling people what to do, and there's a huge difference when you talk at somebody and then talk to them and understand them and help them instead of being accusation. It seems like a lot of corporations, like you want to find somebody to blame instead of finding a solution to the problem. Yeah,
it's just I think we see a lot right now is just even having a coach like I did, just beginning to learn some of those coaching skills. You don't have to be trained as a coach necessarily, but just using it and understanding that process, you're able to take that and utilize that at home, at work, in your community. So for us, we want to give that gift of coaching, if you will, every chance that we have. So that's why that Ignite project is so important for us. Yeah, and then another one that we do. We started a speakers bureau last year because we found there's a lot of nonprofits out here. They have their monthly luncheons and they have their dinners and their different things, and they can't find speakers. So we looked around our group, 150 folks, and said, hey, who'd be interested? And having half-hour program, just kind of on cue all the time, ready to go to support your community and provide things like that. So here just in Kansas City and Lawrence, I think we have almost 20 of those speakers that are available. And they're from anything from, diversity and inclusion to communication. You kind of name the gamut, and we can probably put that together and cover it. The neat thing is we got the list sitting out there on our website that
where can people go?
Yeah, so, and I'll just cover that piece at the end if that's all right, so that it's all in one spot.
Yeah, because we got 1 minute left, so if you want to.
By gosh, we're here. Okay, so that's going to be at icfheartland.org.
Sure.
And if you go in the top left corner, it says Speakers Bureau. You can go right there and you can look down and see exactly what we have to offer. And if you don't see something that fits your need, reach out to us and we may be able to accommodate that. Obviously, you can always connect with us on Facebook. That's ICF Heartland chapter for Kansas/Missouri. And I believe that's the same for Twitter. So
and it's icfheartland.org.
Yes, icfheartland.org is our local chapter.
And that's where you can find out all this information. Yep. You can go there and you can find out about the Ignite program. You can find out about the Speakers Bureau, everything that's kind of going on.
And if you have a question that isn't answered there, reach out to us on our, we got a contact deal there. You can reach out to us at any time. We'll be more than happy to connect with you and just do what we can to support our community partners.
Well, Brian, thank you very much. Thanks for coming on and talking about the International Coaching Federation, Heartland chapter. And thank you for listening to KC Cares, Kansas City's nonprofit voice, produced by Charitable Communications. We're proudly sponsored by the Ewan Marion Kaufman Foundation. To be a guest on KC Cares or for underwriting opportunities, please visit kccaresonline.org. Spread the love and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all that at KC Cares Online. Thank you for listening to KC Cares on 94.5 FM and 1510 AM.